Hey there, internets. This is Kyle with another edition of the My Business Launch Secrets YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing well out there in internet space and wherever you're calling in from tonight. It is past midnight, so I'm tired once again, but just been doing some research on various topics. Again, this is my journey from $0 to $1 million, starting a brand new online business, doing so from scratch, doing this part-time because I still have a day job and I need to do pretty good at, so I can keep getting paid, keep putting food on the table for the kids. This is also a channel that's more or less my video diary, meaning this will probably have zero entertainment value for anybody. And so I apologize if you stumbled upon this random clip on the internet hoping to get something exciting or answers to the deep and mystical questions of the universe, because I have none of those. Today, not too much work, honestly, on the business side of things. We're getting near Christmas, so aside from taking care of daily duties at the job, also having to run errands, getting ready for Christmas, presents, too many freaking people out there on the roadways. Also, where I'm living, we're about to have this massive cold front, like winter Arctic, I don't know, craziness happening, which I live in the South, and anytime the temperature drops below 32 degrees, people just kind of lose their minds. So that's sort of what today was like, of people running around worrying about Christmas, running around worrying about, you know, their house is going to explode or something when it drops below freezing. And I just don't like to be out and about when those people are out and about, right? So anyway, but I had to do a few things, run a few errands. Got that done. Oh my God. One note on my video yesterday, I was showing you the OBS Studio setup that I'm keen to start using for recording the videos, my tutorial videos on the iPad, and found there was somewhat of a glitch when I rendered the video out of TIMEBOLT, which again edits out all the gaps and pauses in your video automatically, in that my voice just sounded weird, sounded like robotic, and I think it had to do something there. So OBS Studio records multi-track audio. For some reason, I think there were multiple vocal tracks for some reason that I still haven't really figured out, and they were kind of like just out of phase slightly, so you kind of get this weird sort of chorus effect. I don't know if there's a way to fix that within TimeBolt based on the way I recorded it. So what I did was I just dropped the XML, took the XML output from TimeBolt, which you can load then into DaVinci Resolve for it to automatically make cut to the raw video clip that you started with. And then within DaVinci Resolve, I could get in there to see exactly like what are the audio tracks, and I just found the one that sounded like normal, and then I just rendered the video. So I got the full cut down video with the right sounding audio, etc. But for some reason, even what I saw in DaVinci Resolve, I didn't have like a separate track. You know, I thought I was going to have a separate track for vocal and a separate track for the audio coming from my iPad, but like I didn't really have that. And it's hard to explain. I'm probably just doing it wrong because this is only like my second time using DaVinci Resolve and first time doing anything multi-track audio. But I think a solution, I haven't tested it out, but I think it should work, is that I had the settings in OBS Studio set to record everything in stereo, which would mean 2 tracks per every audio source. And that's where I might have been running into some issues because, again, of how you set up your project in DaVinci Resolve and how you associate which tracks to which stereo tracks. I don't know, it's confusing. And I don't really feel like spending time to figure it out right now because it's not important. I think the quick fix, so I'm just going to change the setting in OBS Studio to record everything in mono, so that way the only thing it should be recording, if I have my iPad connected with some audio track and then my vocal, obviously, I should just have 2 audio tracks being recorded, both mono, and presumably that shouldn't cause any of this issue of, like, again, it seems like it had multiple of my voice tracks that were slightly out of phase, so I think that should work. I mean, it seems reasonable, but a lot of the stuff I've tried over the past several weeks I thought was reasonable. It ended up not being so. So we shall see. It'll be a learning experience for all. In other news, I painted my walls on the other side of this room here that you can't see in my video. I finished priming the walls, 2 coats of primer yesterday, and then first coat of the top coat, which matches the lovely beige-ish, grayish wall color behind me, because I'm just a neutral kind of dude. I don't like to go with crazy colors. And so that came out well. happy with that. Let that dry overnight and slap on the second coat. It should be done with that phase of the project. Large bit of the project to do in terms of, I've got a water heater over here that I'm going to have to take out because I can't do any of the work behind the water heater unless it's out. So I'm going to have to take that out and do some wall work around there. I'm going to stain the floors that you can't see also. I'm going to stain it. It's concrete floor. I'm going to stain it because it's not a level floor and I don't feel like fixing it. It's pretty bad, intentionally unlevel for whatever reasons that don't matter. And I don't feel like going through the hassle of trying to get it leveled to put down some solid surface. That would take me way longer anyway. So staining it, quick and easy, throw a rug over top of it, boom, call it a day. And then finally I got to put up all the trim, baseboards, trim around the doors and the closet, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I'll probably take a break after I get the second coat of paint on tomorrow. Again, rolling into the old Christmas weekend, so we'll be busy with the family on that. Then we'll see how next week looks in terms of if I can try to get that done. Also been doing some research on this new job opportunity I mentioned yesterday, trying to do some background research on the company and the specific guy I'm supposed to be talking to in a couple of weeks. I guess I'm getting a little more excited about it. Again, I'm not entirely sure that I necessarily bring the skills or experience they're specifically looking for. And I talked about that a little bit yesterday, but I don't think I said, like, if I were in their shoes, again, knowing what I know about the company, which obviously is just what public information I can find on the internet. Knowing what I know about the company, they would probably be looking for somebody a little bit different. I won't get into the details of why, it doesn't matter. But that being said, I think I could do the job and it would be a challenge for me, but I like challenges and I tend to be the type that when I take on challenges, I will generally be able to complete them successfully most of the time. 60% of the time, I complete it all the time, or however the saying goes. I think there's a lot of, the guy I'm interviewing with, who's, I guess, the manager for the position, has actually somewhat of a similar background to me, which I think is interesting for various reasons. But anyway, he's in the role he's in, having similar background to me. He's actually younger than I am by a couple of years, I think. But his background is similar, but it's slightly different. So I think I could envision myself sort of fulfilling a piece that he doesn't necessarily have. And so we could kind of work off of each other's strengths and skills and just like experiences and the types of work that we've done, which is, again, related but different for various reasons. So I think that could work. I'm still a little unclear kind of exactly what they really are looking for. And of course, that's ultimately once I understand better where he's coming from, I could probably have a better sense of whether or not he thinks I would be the right guy for the job or not. But we'll see, whatever. Like I've said, I think it's important to have the right mindset about these opportunities. Again, mindset being that, I do believe I could be successful in that role. I can envision myself being in that role and being very, very successful. But, recognizing that, if I'm not the right fit for what they're looking for at this point in time, that's fine. Russell Brunson talked about in one of his podcasts, one of the greatest wrestling coach of all time, which I don't know jack squat about wrestling, but Russell Brunson's a wrestler, so he talks about it a lot. Anyway, he said that one of the all-time greatest coaches in college wrestling, Dan Gable, University of Iowa, I think, said that his sort of one of his guiding principles was that he would never allow his wrestlers, his athletes, whatever, on his team to go wrestle a match that they did not know they could win. And, that's not to say that they didn't lose on occasion. Obviously, they didn't have a perfect record, but it did result in them winning like multiple national championships or however it works in college sports. So obviously they won a lot of matches. And again, it was just the point being, having that mindset when you're going into something, whether it's a wrestling match or whether it's a new job opportunity, simply believing that, you can be successful at whatever you're trying to accomplish. Like that's like probably more than half the battle, I think. It's easy to go into some of these things having a lot of doubts. I'm a logical, rational thinker. I can list out all of the reasons why, again, this would not be a good fit for me, why they should not be interested in me, why I should not be interested in the job, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, that doesn't really get me anywhere in life. I think it's just better to be open to the opportunities as they, focus on the positive outcome and focus on what you can bring to the table, not necessarily what you are not bringing to the table. Recognize that whatever you might be lacking, it's just a matter of skill that you need to develop that maybe you don't have. you can learn skills. I think the more important part, especially like in a job, is do you have the right like character traits? Do you have the right principles that are necessary to be successful in this job? Because, I mean, fundamental character traits and the principles you live by, I mean, those are not things you're just going to turn on a dime or that you could spend a few months studying a topic and, change your mind of what your character is going to be like, right? And I try to focus on like do the things that I'm bringing to the table in terms of my character traits, the principles I have, my views of the world, which obviously have been shaped by the experiences that I've been through in my life and in my career, are those things that kind of align with what at least I believe this position is about. And if so, then I'm just going to go for it. I mean, why should I hold anything back? I should just go all in. I mean, freaking own this interview and impress this dude, and either he'll be impressed enough that, it would lead to more interviews or whatever the process is. Talk to other people, potentially job, or he'll say, I don't really vibe with you and you're not quite what I'm looking for, in which case, cool. Best of luck to you. Hope you guys kick ass with whatever you're going to be doing in the future, and life goes on, right? So, of course, I realize I have that luxury given that I'm choosing to go after a job while I'm still in a very comfortable job currently. I'm not desperate to get work, as, many unemployed people have to deal with. So unfortunately, I've been in that situation in my life, which again, I realize is a blessing, and I will recognize that for what it is, and just realize that as long as I am in this position, again, I might as well make the best of it and accept whatever the outcome is, right? Anyway, so switching back to the online business stuff, I mean, so the one other thing I was researching was I still need to figure out, well, I think I've got a plan, and I'll explain that in a minute, but needed to figure out how to shift this, again, older YouTube channel that I have that's already got a subscriber base, has a bunch of old videos on it that still get views. It was built for a specific purpose, like 7 years ago or something, for a class I was teaching. I kind of just made it wrapped around me, because I was the teacher, obviously, so the channel is like named after me, basically, which, I mean, is okay. Obviously, a lot of YouTubers out there, their name is their channel, and that's what it is, right? But I wonder how many of those people, though, maybe slightly regret having wrapped everything around their name, because now they don't necessarily have so much of a business as they just have really good self-employment. And that's fine. I mean, really famous YouTubers, can make a lot of money, obviously. And, when you get to a certain, I guess, income level, I'm sure, like, you probably don't care if you can sell this business 10 years from then, if you're raking in tens of millions of bucks a year already anyway. But I figure, hey, since I'm just starting this thing, why don't I at least put some thought into it? And so I was thinking, well, I don't really want it just to be wrapped around my name, because even, this could easily be something that if I wanted to start to hire other people to record tutorial types of videos, I wouldn't, want it to be like weird that why is this random dude recording a video on this other guy's channel? Like, that doesn't really make sense. So I need to figure out like what would be an appropriate business name. It sounds like a business, but it's, also sounds like something that would be on YouTube. So I started searching the old YouTubes to see what we might want to call it. So learning circuits. So circuits is what my current channel is basically about. So I just did a little search for if I wanted to learn, if I were learning about circuits, where would I go? What would I see when I did the old YouTube search? And then I look at who these people are that are recording these videos. So we got a Element 14, that's some big company, I think. So these are probably just part of their marketing stuff. Code and More. Okay, that's an interesting channel name. Big C Live.com. That's an interesting one. I'm just curious about this. Let me mute that. You cannot hear this because I'm not recording the audio from the video. God, freaking ads. Okay. Oh, another ad. Jeez. Lots of ads. So yeah, bigclive.com. All right. There's some dude talking about resistors and shit like that. So that's cool. Look at this. 7.4 million views from 6 years ago. Wow. It's about like me. Newest first. Let's see. Yep, still getting views, and man, this guy's still replying to them. Jeez, how about that? From a 6-year-old video. I'll go to this guy's channel. He's got almost 1 million subscribers. Wow, impressive. Let's go recently uploaded. Yeah, he's still uploading. Yeah, so if this guy's been at it for at least 6 years, uploading various random stuff. And look at this. You see, man, kind of pisses me off. Spending all this time trying to come up with my own slick setup, and this dude's just like got a camera pointed over his hands, showing various things, electronics. Let's go to popular videos. 7.4 million. That's his top one. Yep. Okay. 4 million. 3.5 million views reviewing a Japanese Fanny Flambeau doll. Nice. Interesting. So yeah, this is a very interesting channel. I mean, geez, this guy's got a ton of subscribers, almost 1 million subscribers. That's a lot more than a lot of what you might view as big YouTube peoples. And bigclive.com. I wonder if this actually means anything. bigclive.com. Oh, super crappy. Nice. YouTube channel, PCB shop. Nope, doesn't have that anymore. Assembly guides. Has some cool little freebie stuff. Okay, that's cool. Buy me coffee and cookies. Support the channel. Support with Patreon. He's got a Patreon. Let's see where that goes. Sorry, I'm getting off on a tangent here. I'm just kind of curious. $3 a month. Wow. 3,462 patrons. Oh man, that's a lot. Times $3 a month, 10 grand. Look at this, 10 grand a month this guy's making just from his freaking Patreon. And he's not even like, I don't know, he's probably not even offering them anything. Just like, buy me a cup of coffee. Maybe he's got some projects he's doing for him. Okay, sorry. That was a tangent there. Okay, so that's an example. Learning circuits, that's what it's on. Okay, math and science. Yeah, I've seen this guy. Just the math and science channel. The engineering mindset. That's cool. Engineering mindset. So we've got Wormy. We've got the AM Tech channel. Tech Quickie. IMSAI guy. Brett Lee Built. That's element 14. Let's look up circuits. RLC circuits. Got the organic chemistry tutor. Yes. This is, I think I mentioned this guy before. Or gal. I don't know who it is actually. But organic chemistry tutor makes a ton of videos that are not at all about organic chemistry. But that's his channel. Got old Dave Gordon. Good job there. Oh, look at this dude here. That looks familiar. Physics videos by Eugene, whatever his name is. All right. NTS, step-by-step science. Okay. Great Scott. Yep. Physics demos, Charles Hake. So, again, you got a mix of, some random individual dudes with kind of random other channel names. So I think what I might be trying to do is go with something like PhD Engineer. The PhD Engineer, mainly because I already bought the domain for thephdengineer.com. So I can start to build that as the platform for starting a membership site or something like that. Thephdengineer.com. I guess it's still a little like I'm an engineer and I have a PhD, so I'm the PhD engineer. Still a little bit around me, but again, I'm not using my name. So again, I wouldn't feel necessarily bad if I start having somebody else make videos for me, I guess, because it doesn't matter. Who cares? Nobody's checking that a PhD engineer actually made those videos, right? So thephdengineer.com. I'm going to sleep on that, work it in my subconscious, see if I wake up feeling good or terrible about that, and then I'm just going to start putting it together, update the channel, create all the social medias, put something up on a web page. And as I do that, I want to record a video to maybe upload, just kind of describing, hey, I'm the guy who runs this channel and it's super old, but I'm about to revamp it. And if you have any suggestions for what you'd like to see, please let me know. Because again, it's got 10,000 subscribers, so maybe somebody will give me some ideas of what they'd like to see, and I can get started there in addition to some other ideas that I have for some content to start making. So anyway, with that, I'm going to close it up for tonight. Hope you're all doing well. Keep on kicking ass, taking names, and I'll see you next time. Peace.